Good morning, YouTube family. We are headed out to market, and I figured today would be a great day for me to take you along. We have the car completely packed. Usually it's Andrew and I going together, and we really have to pack stuff in here because this whole seat gets taken over by me while Andrew drives. But today I am solo. So Andrew's cousin Erin is going to meet me at the market to help out. It's really good for two people to be at the market because it's hot in here. It just takes a lot for one person. My whole thing about being at market is making connections with people, and if I am trying to talk to one person and the other person's trying to check out and I'm trying to multitask, I'm just not presenting myself in the best fashion. I don't multitask well when it comes to like talking to customers, checking people out. It's just not something that I am great at. I like to have very focused conversations. So when someone's talking to me and someone else is trying to check out, I kind of like lose track, and I don't want to discount anyone who is trying to have a conversation. So with that being said, Erin is going to meet me at market. She's helped out before, and hopefully we can sell. I brought 70 loaves this week. I don't know what happened. I thought I had 80. I don't know. My math must have just been off, and that's fine. I brought 54 cookies, which are a big seller. I have dehydrated sourdough starter, so all is good. I'm gonna have some coffee on my way to market, and I will pick you guys back up when we set up.
The farmer's market that we go to is Leaf. It is in Erie, Pennsylvania, and it has about 50 vendors. I wanted to videotape us setting up, but really I just couldn't get to it. We were trying to hustle to get everything ready, but you can see there are a ton of vendors here, and it is such a great market. So we were set up by like 9:30, and at 10:05 we started to get our line forming, and this is at 10:30. You can see we are down to only a few loaves and a few cookies.
That did not work out. I was planning on videotaping the whole day at the market and sharing it with you guys. We sold out in an hour and 15 minutes, and I took 70 loaves and 56 cookies and a ton of sourdough starter, and it all just sold. I was trying to get my friend Megan to come and shoot a day at the market, get some good quality pictures, and then also shoot some like B-roll and stuff because it's just too hard. But basically how the day worked is I got to the market at 9:15. I've said this in previous videos. I think it's really important to get to your markets early and get set up because vendors can then come and shop. So the morning was absolutely insane. We were sold out of half of our stuff by 10:15. The market starts at 10 o'clock. So 15 minutes in, we had a massive line. People were buying multiple loaves. Like, it was so good. And then we had a little break for probably 5 minutes. We were able to like reorganize the bread and just kind of make sure everything was in like the right area so that people could just walk in and like grab whatever they want. That is another thing that I think is also really important. Sorry guys, I am driving, I'm getting my kids. Please don't be mad at me for driving and videotaping. I literally have like these 10 minutes to myself today, and I really want to get this information to you guys because I think it's important, especially because it's on the top of my brain right now from just finishing the market. So yeah, I think it's important to get there early, kind of set up, make sure everything is like organized. I had to rewrite my signs. Every market I bring like a special loaf, and it's just kind of like a fun flavor. Today was blueberry lemon. 'Tis the season, right? So we put in some awesome blueberries, some fresh lemon, and yeah, it's just a very, very good loaf. Highly recommend if you're thinking about doing a market to kind of bring something each week that's a little different, and then that way it keeps everything exciting. So anyways, got everything set up, everything's organized, rewrote my signs. People were coming like here and there, and then at 10 o'clock it just hit. Like I said, huge line, got through everybody. The bags, I told you guys I was getting these market bags. They are amazing. Such a good marketing tool. People brought the bags back. They were using them this week. So I saw at least 10 or 12 people walking around with the bags. And then we only left today with 2 more bags. So far I have given out or sold like 35 of those bags. So definitely a good marketing technique to kind of increase the average like ticket of your customer, which is always the goal, right? It's much easier to sell to 10 people and have them buy more than to have to sell to 50 and everyone buy 1 loaf, if that makes sense. So that's kind of my goal with these bags, is I would like to have more in one person's hand than having to sell to many more people. I hope that makes sense. But yeah, so good. And then we had that little lull, like right after 10:15. It was about 5 minutes, got everything reorganized. And then we just were steady until 11. It was probably like a little after 11. The thing that always stinks for me, and I don't think there's any way to kind of fix it or make it better, is when I'm down to 1 or 2 loaves, people don't tend to come in as quickly because there's just 1 loaf there and they're like, I'm not even gonna go in because they don't have anything left. So that is kind of hard. I talked to my friend Bree. She owns Burnt Sage, and I will put a link to her boutique in the description of this video. If you order from her, make sure you tell her I sent you, because we are best friends. We're actually neighbors. And her husband is he works for whatever, it doesn't matter. Anyways, he is very high up in a very known company, and he was kind of helping me today with how to combat that, because that seems to be like the one thing that like kind of holds me up. So he said to come up with like a sign that I can put out on the table that takes up the empty space, and it would say like, oh, did you miss, like, didn't get your favorite flavor, scan here to order, or something, so that it kind of gives the customer a way to like continue to support and buy and get what they want, which I think is a really good idea. So I just need to come up with a design or something for that, and get a sign ordered, because I think he's right. I think I do need something, a banner, I don't know, something that will take up some empty space, and then that way when I am at that point where one of my tables is completely empty, I can have something there to put up. So I think that's a good idea. I think I'm gonna work on getting that done. So we sold out. Everything is really, really good. All of my flavors went really well. The last 3 flavors were jalapeno cheddar, and they were not hard to sell. Every week it has been a different flavor that has been left. So the first week it was everything but the bagel. Actually, the first 2 weeks it was everything but the bagel. So I don't even bring that flavor anymore, because really people don't miss it. Nobody asked for it. I replaced all of that with the croissant loaf, because people love the croissant loaf. So croissant loaf sold out first, so I'm gonna have to change my numbers on that. Another thing that I recommend you do is make sure that you are keeping track of your numbers. So how many loaves of which flavor are you bringing, what's selling, what's not, and then that way you're not bringing things that aren't selling. Like I said, people were really asking for the jalapeno cheddar, so I brought that. It sells super well. That's a one that I think if you wanted to pop into your menu, people will really like that. We always tell our customers what you can make with the bread, because a lot of times that holds people up, is they want to get the bread, but then they're like, what am I just going to eat it with? Sandwiches, make toast. So any flavor, we always have like a little spiel, I guess, that we could give someone if they're like, oh, I don't know. And then I'll say, oh, the jalapeno cheddar makes a really good grilled cheese. And they're like, oh, perfect. Like, that's great. Or the mini baguettes you can use for bruschetta, or if you wanted to make, you can make them into subs. just giving them a little bit of something that they can run with. The pepperoni, I always tell them we slice it ourselves, and then we just put a little bit of sauce, cheese, and a little bit of pepperoni or whatever you want, and make them into like little pizzas. That's really good for the kids. So I just give them ideas so that they know that there's ways to use the bread. They can obviously just slice it and eat it, which is great too, but giving your customers a little bit more is always helpful. I personally think that for myself, my target should be 85 to 90 loaves at these markets. I don't know what happened this week. I don't know where my brain was. I think I was already kind of checked into vacation, because I am going to be taking vacation this whole next week, preparing for my son to go into kindergarten. We're going to do some fun things. And I have a lot of like back end business stuff that I need to tighten up. And I need just like a week of not baking to be able to do that. So that's what I'm doing this week. So content is probably going to be really heavy this week, because it's just going to allow me time to be creative in that way. But with that being said, going forward, I do need to make sure that I am bringing a little bit more bread. And I didn't really have anyone ask about anything else. I do pre-orders for cinnamon rolls, so people can just pop in and grab the cinnamon rolls. If you pre-order anything for a market, tell them a time that they need to pick up. I have been learning that this is very challenging. The market that I go to is from 10 to 2, and I usually have been selling out in 2 hours or less. And today it was like an hour and 15 minutes. And I was there waiting for people to come pick up their cinnamon rolls. And I was messaging them, trying to make sure that they were coming. And it's just kind of frustrating. I don't mean frustrating in like, I wish that they would like, I don't know how to explain it. I'm not frustrated that they're buying the cinnamon rolls, of course. But it's just frustrating to me, because I am, you know, I have other things I want to do. I want to hang out with my kids and stuff like that. So I always tell them to come with between 10 and 11, right when the market starts. And also, if they want to get any bread or anything, they need to come early, or else it's going to be sold. So just a couple things that I think worked really well today, some things that I'm going to improve on, and I hope you guys take a little bit of advice, I guess, from this video. I'm so sorry that I literally dropped the ball and didn't record anything at the market except the few little clips that you see. But I hope that you find something in this video that helps you when you go to market. Like I said, I'm gonna try and get my friend to come to one of these markets so we can really tape what happens and you can see exactly how market works for me. But that's all for now. Thank you guys so much, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye, guys.